My name is Gerald Merrell. All right, when I was 17 years old, I was sentenced to mandatory natural life. I was incarcerated for 30 years, 5 months. I grew up in Southwest Detroit. My father was a working man. He worked at Ford Motor Company. My mother was a stay-at-home mother. My brother David went to prison when in '82. He was also convicted of a murder. They say he killed himself in Jackson in '85, but their own medical examiner says that was not possible. So there's a lot of things that I did that I'm not too proud of. You know, I mean, I joined the gang, started hanging around with the wrong group. You know, I started messing up in school. There was a teacher that went too far with the whipping aspect of the wood, and so I hit him with a stool, and the principal was like, "What's going on?" I said, "Look, he's hit me with this paddle way too many times." And there was literally beads of blood and welts on the back of my leg, not on my butt, on the back of my legs. And I got kicked out of all Detroit public schools because of this incident. Why was I punished for what this man was doing? That was pretty much child abuse by a teacher that's supposed to be teaching us, not beating on us. So, you know, at this time I'm like 13 years old. My mom and dad wasn't really too aware of what I was doing, and the justice system, juvenile justice system, was nowhere in sight for me. I believe if they would have came and, you know, detoured me a little bit and try to see what was going on and get a lot of these kids in some counseling and stuff, I believe it probably would have detoured me from doing what I did. I kept on saying, "You got to do something to him. He's making you look like a punk." I was like, "What do you mean? He touched your girl. You don't, you know." I said, "Here," and what's that? You know, it was like a little pole, you know, but it twists out, and it was a knife. At first, I'm like, you know, he was telling me, well, we had the discussion. If you didn't do it, we were going to do you. Apparently changed his mind. He said, "If neither one of you don't do it, I'm doing both of you." And they stuck me in juvenile with all them adults. I'm 17-year-old. Everybody else is 20 and above. So when the judge actually came down with the sentence of mandatory natural life without parole, I mean, like I said, I was young. I still didn't comprehend a lot of it. I got to visit with my family afterwards, you know, and they were trying to pretty much explain to me what natural life meant. You know, my brother, and he's like, "Bro," he says, "you understand what's happened?" He says, "You're never coming home." You know, and I still couldn't wrap my brain around that thought of what that was. We need to abolish this so these young kids out here today are not slipping through the cracks, you know, like a lot of us have been slipped through the cracks. I think they should change that. I mean, like I said, we're looking for to get, you know, punished, but natural life without parole, I mean, that's kind of a long deficit. That's basically a long, stretched out death sentence for a lot of people. I understand the family side, the victim family side, but they're saying eye for an eye. You know, that it's you just got to give it a second chance. You just can't look at them and throw them away. It's not good. My mother passed in 2008. My father died on 2 days after my sister's birthday, August 14th, in 2011. I lost my nephew, my brother's son, him and his him and one of his friends tried to rob a bar, and a retired Detroit city policeman was in the bar and shot him point blank in the chest. That's so hard to lose a family member in while you're locked up and you can't go to the funeral. I think something crawled in my mind, or somebody was in my head saying, if the laws somehow do change, you'll be, one of those guys that they look at. I never got any violent stuff, anything in my file from prison. Yeah, he told me about this juvenile stuff, and then I finally got a letter from Deborah LaBelle from the ACLU, and she was telling me about it and explaining it to me. But when I heard about this, I tightened all the way up. I even had myself moved to another prison, because I didn't want to be there. I wanted to be somewhere where it was a positive, feeling at this prison. I had myself moved to IMAX level 2, which is, there's a garment factory there. The only reason you're there is because you're gonna work and do programming. And after about some years, they brought in a dog program. I got this, train some dogs and learn some stuff about dogs for the blind, leader dog for the blind. I was hanging around with some good positive people, I was going to church, I was, making myself as well as I can possibly be. The MDOC doesn't want to show the good and always not the bad. They're always wanting to show the bad, but the public don't get to see the good that these guys are doing. Doggy program, guys are going to college, they're in trades, trying to get a trade, so when they get out, they can get a good job. Why don't they want to show that? Like I said, I was thankful, to me it's a blessing of God, to get a second chance. I came home December 29th. Since like I said, I've been out, I've been getting with my family, I've kept maintaining my job. I've been working at Gateway Industrial since January 14th of 2021. And I have a lot of plans, a lot of things that I want to get out. I'm trying to get a couple non-profit organizations started to do with children, in need of guidance, so they don't go around the wrong roads that we went down. I spend most of my time with my family and friends. I'm gonna continue to get blessed, because I believe if I bless somebody, I will get blessed back, and I have nothing but love in my heart for everybody, human beings. We need to pull together and make this world a better place for everybody. Thank you.